The truth has no agenda. I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.media. I want to talk to you about truth, plain truth, specifically as it relates to Canada's Aboriginal community. We've just had the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. Everyone wanted the truth. Now, a few weeks later, we've got politicians of all stripes playing fast and loose with the truth at the Assembly of First Nations annual general meeting in Montreal. We got the leadership of the AFN saying the Harper Conservatives, well, they're bad for Aboriginals, that they do nothing for them. NDP leader Tom Mulcair, he's saying much the same. And then Liberal leader Justin Trudeau blaming the Conservatives by saying the land claim system isn't working.
This reconciliation framework will also include mechanisms to resolve grievances associated with existing historical treaties and modern land claims agreements. The current process simply does not work.
Is any of this backed up by fact? And when you're talking about truth, facts are important. I get why National Chief Perry Belgrade and others like him wouldn't like the Harper government. The Harper government's forcing the chiefs and councils to be open about how the money they get from Ottawa, the billions sent to them each year, is actually spent. And no politician wants to be open about how they spend taxpayers' money, not if they can get away with it. But what about the claim that Harper and the Conservatives haven't been good for First Nations? Well, they passed a bill that gives women on reserve the same rights as women in the rest of Canada when it comes to the matrimonial home and real property. I'd say that's a good thing. They also passed legislation on clean water. They established standards for drinking water on reserves. I'd say that's a good thing. Most people would, unless they're the chief or Mulcair or Trudeau. Now, what about this issue of land claims? Here's a little known fact. The land claim system, it's been a mess for years, but did you know that of all the claims settled between 1973 and 2014, 28% of them were settled between 2007 and 2014? That's right, over a 41-year period, 108 claims were settled in 7 years versus 282 in the previous 34 years. Now, why do I use 1973 as a reference date? Because that's the year that then Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau set up the specific land claims process. Bands could submit a claim and then wait years and years. There was no limit for officials in Ottawa to get back to them. In 2007, Prime Minister Stephen Harper revamped the system. He made bureaucrats respond in no more than 3 years. He streamlined the arbitration process and set aside hundreds of millions of dollars per year to settle claims. The result? 108 settled in 7 years. If we go up to today's numbers, it's 125 claims settled. Here's just some of them. You can take a look there. Millions of dollars handed out in settled claims. Here's part of a statement from Aboriginal and Northern Affairs Minister Bernard Valcour's office. They said, our government is committed to achieving fair and timely resolutions for First Nations specific claims. Under the Liberals, between 1993 and 2006, the number of outstanding claims in the federal system doubled. By 2006, the average processing time for specific claims was 13 years, and there were over 770 outstanding specific claims in the specific claims inventory. 13 years. Now, the land claim system may still be broken. I don't know. I don't know it well enough to judge, but I can tell you it's working better under Stephen Harper than it did under any prime minister before him, including the one that Justin Trudeau called Dad. Now, that won't make the official Native leaders happy, not the ones that go to these conferences and who are never happy, no matter who's in power. These people are grievance mongers. It's why they keep pointing out the fact that Stephen Harper won't call a public inquiry into murdered and missing Aboriginal women. That's one of the reasons they don't like him. It gives them something to complain about. They can't complain about the slow pace on land claims when he's speeding it up. So they complain that he won't call an inquiry, even though an inquiry won't bring a single person to justice, won't result in a single charge being laid. By the way, the clearance rate is the same for non-Native and Native women. Now, I'm not saying that Stephen Harper is perfect, not on this issue or any other, but this is the man who issued the apology for residential schools when every other prime minister refused. He called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. He improved land claims. He gave real rights to Native women, forced fiscal transparency on the chiefs, and is working on improving drinking water. He even moved to give bands more say over development of their own land, including resource development. And what's the reaction of the chiefs, the official chiefs anyway? To claim, well, this government doesn't do anything for us. It's not true. It's not fair, but it makes for good sound bites, especially for a media that dare not ask real questions, report actual facts, or even care about the truth. Bye.